Well, hey, good afternoon. Welcome back to my little gardening show. So my setup's a little redneck, but it's doing a job. Got this, I'll just show you real quick. Got this oscillating fan from my sister. She'll let me borrow it. Maybe she'll let me keep it. I got it kind of jerry-rigged up on a step stool, a bucket, and a little container there, and it's pretty stable. I could get like a board and like C-clamp it to the workbench. It'd probably be a little more stable than what I've got here, but this is working out fine. I've got it set up in the middle so that as it oscillates, it covers the range of my seedlings there. So we're going to turn it on. Speed 2 seems to be working good. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but there's a lot more wiggle in this tray than the other two. And I've noticed when I water that these are the ones that are flopping over a little bit more than the rest of these. So what's going to be interesting is that as I have this set up for this week and going during the basically the grow light hours when these lights are on, it'll be interesting to see how it strengthens these, you know, where they get used to that resistance and it's not shaking them as much, or when I water them they're not flopping over as much. They're able to take it. So that's what we want to do. We kind of want to mimic the conditions of outside as these are kind of getting established in these trays. Really takes them a couple days to get acclimated, you know, after being dug out or messed with or whatnot. Shouldn't take as long, since when I thinned them out last Wednesday I didn't dig most of these out. I left them, I just trimmed off the ones that we didn't want, so that kind of gave them a little head start as far as not disturbing the roots or anything like that. We're gonna let these go and see what happens this week as the fan, you know, is stimulating them, and see if we can firm these up a bit. We're gonna do that primarily during the grow light hours. So I'll have this fan timed to where it will basically shut off when the lights shut off, because I've got it in the same power strip here. I have one extra plug, so it works out pretty good. That fan will come on when the lights are on and like basically agitate the plants for 16 hours. I've got it set up so that it's basically 16 hours of light on these plants. So from like 6 a.m. to 10, the grow lights is set up it's on, and then, you know, from 10 to 6 it's off. I think let's take a look at that real quick. There's my little cheapy timer, mechanical timer. You can see where the pins are pressed down. Where they're pressed down, it's engaging that so that it provides power to the power strip and keeps the lights, everything on. And where the pins are lifted up, that's where there isn't contact, so the circuit's kind of not complete. It's not sending power to my lights and all of that, so it works out pretty good. You can adjust this by just, you know, moving the pins up or down, you know, when you want the lights to be on or not. And then there's a little bypass switch. If I wanted them on all the time, or regardless of what was going on here, I could just flip this. Sometimes I've done that and then forgot to flip it back, and basically the lights were on like 24 hours, which, I mean, for one day it's not going to hurt anything, but long term it would definitely impact the plants. See, because the plants, just like us, do most of their growing at night, right? That's when they take the energy and resources, everything they've taken in during the day, and then they focus that on, you know, growing their roots, growing more foliage. That's when a lot of the growth takes place. So the lights we don't keep the lights on 24/7 because we want to give the plants time to recover from whatever they've encountered in the day. Just like out in the garden, you know, the sun goes down. That's when a lot of the majority of the plant growth happens, and then all day long the sun's beating down on them. Their photoreceptors are working, photosynthesis, all of that, and then at night they process what they've taken in and put out new growth and all that good stuff. So Anyway, that's kind of where we're at with things. I will probably give these another week, and then hopefully we can move them outside and get them some exposure outside. Ideally, I'd like to get them on the back deck. Maybe get them out to the greenhouse if there's room. My dad told me, my sister's starting a lot of flowers, so she's living with Dad right now, and so she's making use of my greenhouse while we're not out there with the weather being bad, how it's been and all that. But anyway, that's the plan. So I hope to start, our plan to start some more trays probably next week. Some more of the, maybe lettuce. We'll do a couple trays of lettuce starts just to get something going in the garden. Or maybe I'll do some more of the same of this because we got a lot of garden space that we're going to be dealing with, and it'd be kind of nice to have a couple different crops we can harvest, that's staggered a little bit so it's not all coming in at once. So anyway, I guess that's it for now. Until next time, happy gardening. Bye.